Cool. Man, look at this. Almost look professional. Kia ora koutou, welcome to the Empire Tech Cave. You're here with me, your resident tech and gaming guy, Dave. And today it is an unboxing because this turned up at my door today and I want to start using it. For me to do that, I need to take it out of its box, and that's probably where I'm going to start. So, you know, I'm not going to have an opinion on what it's like to use right now, but I will over the coming days and weeks, no question about that. But this starts, like all things, with an opening. So, that is the box unsealed. Excitement. And what have we got in the box? Okay, so now you can't see me at all, which is hilarious. Why don't we just do that and we'll say, look, well, you open the box and you are immediately greeted with another box. Oh, crikey. Let's see if I slide that one out like this. Right. Oh, that's handy. It's got a wee hole in the bottom here so you can maybe extract it easier or break it. Dear Sony, please don't be upset if I break your $1,000 headset. Thank you for your understanding. Okay. Oh, crikey. Box gone. Oh, that wasn't for that at all. That's got all of your serial numbers and things like that on it. I'm going to put that over there. That is now not my problem. And then we have the box. And as you can see, it opens again. And inside I have, what do I have here? I've got the PSVR2 instruction manual. We won't be needing that. Instructions are for people who don't know how technology works, and that's not us, is it? No. Right, so I'm going to now switch it around a bit here. Right, so first thing that I've got in here is a box. Inside this box is a USB-C cable, which I am led to believe is for charging the hand modules and stuff, which is cool. And you get a funky set of in-ear headphones as well, which is actually really good. They did this on the first one as well, on the original PSVR, and I found those in-ear headphones to be really good. They're rather than sort of looking at the Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive, where you have a separate set of on-ear headphones that are part of the headset. It gives you a great deal of freedom to decide whether or not you want to have much larger headphones, and if you do want to have them, you can actually just plug them straight into the 3.5mm jack found on the headset itself without having to run them through to a computer, which, you know, is the other way that we did it on the PC VR headsets. So I like this, that is good. That is everything that is in that box. And I shall now come into the main meat of the headset itself, the meaty bits. And first and foremost, I have got one of the two control units, the hand units, which are very cool actually. Right one, right two. It's, you know, it is one half of a PlayStation controller. This is the right hand one. It's got the PlayStation button on it and the start menu. The thumbsticks are much smaller, and I say that, you know, like, but they're right. They feel like they are correct and they're the right sort of height for holding it. But of course, and all importantly, a wrist strap to prevent accidents from happening. That's actually really intuitive. That's integrated straight into the device itself, which is really good. Let's see that here. So that's actually really useful, which means that if you go wild, you're not going to. I'm glad that worked. Just imagine me smashing the camera up. Yeah, so if you're going to go wild and have a bit of a thing and you lose your grip, you're not going to do that. Always use these. Always use these. That is the most important piece of advice I can give you for any VR things. Make sure that you wear the wrist straps. So that is one. And of course, because this is the much more up-to-date VR headset, there is two of them. And the left one also has a PlayStation button. So the PlayStation button is present on both of these little grips, these little handheld, the little hand controllers, the Move controllers, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, that's exciting. So that's those, and that's more waste, and that can go over there. And then last but by no means least, we have the headset itself. Now, as I suspected, this is powered by a single, very good length USB-C cable. So this is going to go straight into the front of your PS5 console. And I'm so happy that they have managed to reduce it to one cable, because if you recall on the original PSVR, they had a separate sort of a processing box where they had to sort of have a HDMI cable and the main cable for the PSVR head unit going into to be able to I guess accelerate the graphics in a way that allowed the PlayStation to successfully render the virtual reality piece. And of course there's no camera for this one either, because here in the head unit itself you have integrated cameras which track the position of your hand. So it's like the inside out tracking, which came in a couple of years ago with the I believe it was with the Oculus Rift S, and then the HTC Vive followed along after that, and then the Valve Index also followed that. But a lot of the VR and AR headsets very quickly adopted inside-out tracking, and it was a good thing that they did because it simplifies things a lot. So you know, you don't have to worry about having a camera on top where you are now visible. You don't have to worry about the potential for light bleeding in the room. That was a problem that I had with the original PSVR, was if the area was too bright, it had trouble tracking the lights on the headset and also the lights on the you know, the little move wands that you had on them. And I gotta say, I think that what they did with the original PSVR was pretty remarkable, considering that it was put together from other bits of hardware that had not been successful in the PS3 or PS4 particularly. You know, if I think about the wands, they were PS3, and if I think about the camera, that was a PS4 piece as well. But still, regardless, I digress. This is now, you know, this is now a pure purpose-built VR headset for the PlayStation. It retains the fantastic bit where you can slide the visor forward and back, which I really loved about the original PSVR headset. It was actually some really good things. They've got some really good padding here as well. It's very soft, very rubberized, probably going to get a little bit sweaty, but it's good sized, and it looks like it's going to create a really good light seal around the headset itself. Oh, there's a little gap at the top there, maybe to let the sweat and perspiration escape before it becomes manky. I've not tried it on yet. Am I going to try it on now? If I remember correctly, what's this? Oh, there's these little rubbery bits here. I wonder if that's for like peripherals and add-ons, or maybe if you're thinking about putting a thing there. Okay, so you push this button in, and that gives you your full thing. And then I think you twist the dial, and that locks it back in. It's a really good mechanism, and I always liked the PlayStation VR for not, and this is going to sound really pretentious, for not messing up your hair. The other ones had a big thick band that went straight down the middle, so people could always tell when you've been playing VR because you had this flat spot of hair in the middle of your head. But this one doesn't mess with the dew, as the first one did not. Now I'm just going to try this on now and see how it immediately looks. Okay, first impressions are really good. It feels very comfortable, easy to use, easy to take on and off. It's well put together. The bands are rubberized. Now, one thing that I did change for my Oculus headset was I managed to get some cotton eye masks and eye covers. The seal on this is incredible. I'm sorry, I'm just going to talk about this because the seal around my eyes, there's the tiniest amount of light bleeding in through the nose bit, but it's not really noticeable. And if I push the headset all the way back, it's basically nothing. It is completely enclosed in here, which is really, really good. Now, you know, that's fantastic. That's a great start. Strong first impression. Obviously, you know, I think the hardware itself, you can see that this is a very purposeful VR unit, as opposed to the first generation PSVR, which kind of fell into the realm of exciting, innovative, and good enough for the hardware of its day. This is definitely a you know, this is definitely a lot more purposeful, and I believe, you know, that reflects in the price of this, because of course the PSVR2 in New Zealand, don't worry about that, it's just stuff. I've got to give this back. The PSVR2 retails in New Zealand for $1,000, which immediately puts it out of that range of good enough VR, which we saw with the original PSVR, which was a more reasonable price point of its day and at that point in time when it was released, which I think, gosh, it must have been at least 4, maybe 5 years ago now. When it came out, it was a compelling value proposition when placed next to the other VR headsets that were available for the PC market, because of course the Oculus Rift and the Valve, the HTC Vive, which was sort of the main sort of Steam-backed VR headset of the time, they were both, you know, they were about $1,000 retail at that point, and you had to have a high-end gaming PC that was capable of running them, which would easily have run you another $1,500 plus of its time. Now, if I think about it, you know, the PS5 plus the PSVR is starting to move into that territory now. So your minimum buy-in now is an $800 console and a $1,000 VR headset. However, what I would say is that this immediately strikes me as, you know, as I mentioned, a very purposeful, very specific, very much designed from the ground up, and looking at what's been done and done well in the realm of virtual reality on the PC and some of those big VR experiences. I actually have an Oculus Rift headset with the Move controllers. For me, the main thing that I'm seeing here, which I like the look of, is that I don't have to have the little IR module set up to do all the tracking here. The cable length is really, really good. It's a nice thick cable as well, so I think, you know, we're going to see plenty of length on that, which is excellent. So that means you'll be able to get good, hopefully room scale experiences, which you would expect now, not being tethered to a camera and everything being sort of inside out. These controllers are really nice and light. They do have, it looks like they've got integrated batteries because there's USB-C charging at the bottom of each one of the handsets here. So yeah, it's cool and it's exciting. And this is the last video that I'm going to produce before I get stuck into it. So the next time you see me will likely be for my review of the PSVR2. So stay tuned to the channel for that one. If you're not already subscribed, do feel free to do that and send on the notifications button. Drop us a comment, let us know if there's a game or something that you're excited about for the PSVR2, or whether you're looking at this or if you think it's too expensive. I'm really interested in understanding, you know, whether a premium VR offering for a console is simply too expensive for today's market, or whether it's something that people are really into. So by all means, let me know that in the comments. Let me know if there's a specific game that you're keen about, and you know, I can maybe allude to whether or not I'm going to be able to play it. And stay tuned here on The Empire for all of your video gaming and tech needs, as well as all the other wonderful content that we cover. But if this is your last video with us here on the channel today, then I am Dave, your resident tech and gaming guy, and I will see you